Okay, this is my first video for the platform, and so first I want to say to all of our friends at the Chinese Communist Party, welcome! Welcome to my apartment. Welcome to my contacts. Welcome to all my electronic information, possibly my bank account. Welcome. I want to congratulate you on your evil plot to further corrupt the minds of Westerners. My hat's off to you. This was quite a Huxley-esque ingenious scheme to further degrade the minds of the West. So, good job. Good job. So I want to talk about Bros. Bros opened this weekend. It was the first gay romantic comedy to be produced by a major studio. Usually these films are indies. And it had a major budget, major marketing, $40 million. And it totally tanked. Did $5 million at the box office. Now, the leading actor predictably went on Twitter, blamed it on straight people staying away, which is kind of remarkable because if you saw the trailer kind of went out of its way to market to a gay audience. Right down to the button on the trailer was a scene of various LGBTQ people sitting around a table, and they say, "Remember straight people? Ha ha ha. They had a good run." Fine. Okay. But you hear very often when people don't like something, they'll say it's not for you. That's fine. Fair enough. How much more could you do to signal to a heterosexual audience, which still constitutes the vast majority of audience members, that this film was not for them? To actually go so far as to insult them at the end. And I think this reflects a mentality you see with a lot of woke ideology, that people who are not of a quote-unquote marginalized identity have a kind of, it's very medieval Catholicism. You have a religious duty to pay obeisance to these ideas by patronizing certain products, by co-signing certain ideas. And we see this every time a movie like this or a TV show like this bombs. They blame it on everybody that it's supposedly not for. So you see this with She-Hulk. You saw this with Woman King, which glorifies a group of barbaric African slave traders. If you don't go see it, you're a racist. In this case, you're not going to see Bros, you're homophobic. It's very predictable the Bros would tank. A first-year marketing student could have explained this to you. You're just some basic research. Your primary audience for rom-coms are heterosexual women. Straight men notoriously hate these films, and when they do see them, it's to assuage their wife or their girlfriend. So you have about 10% of the population that would really be interested in this movie, the LGBTQ part. And only a fraction of those are going to go to the movies on any given weekend. So who did you think was going to go see this? But again, the lead actor, he's talking about how Rolling Stone says it's one of the best comedies of the 21st century. I very much doubt that's true from watching the trailer. I haven't seen the film. Maybe I would be just stunned by the comedic genius if I were to go see it. It looked no better, no worse than any other conventional rom-com. It looked like it was hitting all the normal plot points. Person not in a relationship, doesn't want to be in a relationship, is anti-love, actually falls in love, complications and tensions ensue, hilarity, everybody's happy at the end. And again, that's fine if you want to do that with gay themes and gay characters. But you can't expect an audience to be there for that, and you can't just blame that on homophobia when they're not there. There are a lot of obvious reasons. You just don't have the numbers. And then when you do a marketing campaign that goes out of its way to alienate the greater portion of your potential audience, what exactly did you expect? Now, this does have great Rotten Tomato scores. So does She-Hulk. So does Woman King. The audience scores are very different. And this reflects an increasing disconnect between authority and the people in general, in less trivial areas. The health authorities are no longer trusted, and they've earned that. A year and a half ago, if you said lab leak on this, hi Chinese Communist Party, if you said lab leak, that's it. You were a monster. You could get banned from society. They might come after your bank account and your PayPal. You couldn't even talk about that. It just came out this week. Women were saying that the vaccine was affecting their menstrual cycle. And now, they were crazy. These women are crazy. And now it turns out that it does mess with their menstrual cycle. So there is this, and you see it in this much more trivial area of entertainment, where more and more you're seeing critics just line up and they seem to feel, again, that religious devotion to give a 99% rating to the Woman King, in spite of the fact that it's about Africans who sold other Africans into slavery, and it kind of covers that up. Something like She-Hulk, which is just this product for upscale feminists, what's sometimes called white feminism, but that's really unfair because you have a lot of just upscale women who like that show who are not necessarily white. White feminism, it's kind of a class designation. If you look at the audience scores on She-Hulk, it's 35%. If you look at the review scores, it's I think it's 93, 95%. And you see this everywhere. You see this all across the board. This is part of how Donald Trump became president, because he was perceived as fighting against all that. Whenever people have the opportunity to actually express their opinion on a lot of these ideas, when the rubber meets the road, these products bomb. That's where the saying comes from. Go woke, go broke. This is not a popular, these opinions are not popular. These ideologies are not popular. You might get the impression that they're popular because if you notice, people who subscribe to these ideas only talk to other people like themselves. If you've ever gotten into a debate on social media, they're going to unfollow you or unfriend you very quickly if you get into a debate with them, and no matter what you say, you're going to wind up being an ist or a foe. So the effect of that is they only talk to other people like themselves. They have, and because they're overrepresented in the media, because they're overrepresented in academia, they think their opinion constitutes the reasonable majority. And it does not at all. So you can impose it at the university. You can impose it by covering the news from that angle. But when people have a choice through their purchasing power, when they have a choice through their vote, you find out what people really think, and they're overwhelmingly against having these things shoved down their throats. Whenever this war against reality meets reality, reality wins. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with making a film like this. What I'm saying is you have to really be living in a bubble to not realize that throwing this kind of money behind this kind of project and expecting it to attract a mass audience was not just a batshit crazy idea. And that doesn't mean society is homophobic. It means people are attracted to entertainment that speaks to them. On the one hand, they're saying we need to make more entertainment like this because we have a lot of the population can't find entertainment that speaks to them. So you're acknowledging that people want entertainment that speaks to them, that addresses their concerns. And then on the other hand, you're blaming people who clearly are not being addressed by this kind of entertainment for not going to see it. You can't have it both ways. You can't acknowledge that people want to see things that they relate to and then complain when you put out a product that's unrelatable for the majority of the population that the majority of people didn't want to go see it.
Please clap.